Alright, so we've let the vehicle sit overnight. We're going to take off our burping cup here. As you can see, we are a little low there. Get a close up there for you. That's how big that air bubble is, as you can see. But being we've basically got this thing just about burped out, we're going to go ahead and top it off, and then we'll let the rest of the burping action happen in the tank. Alright, we'll check the oil. I don't know how well the camera will pick it off, but we're about a half quart, as I said. So it is exactly 5 quarts. Alright, so we're full in oil, full of coolant. Make sure this thing passes all of our tests. Check for leaks as it's running. Other than that, we're about done with this side anyways. We've got some other things planned, but we'll wait to do that on a later video. Now for this cooling system to pass the test for me, I have 5 things that must happen. 1. The heater must be hot before the upper hose. 2. The upper hose must be tight, meaning that there should be pressure here, should be hard as a rock. 3. Radiator, you should feel from here, should be hot. 4. The fan should take about 20-25 minutes to kick on from idle. And 5. The radiator cap is hot. If any one of those things in the 5 things I've just told you do not pass, do not drive the vehicle. But as you'll see today by the end of this video, this thing will pass all 5 tests. Alright, hit it, Maestro. Now you can see here the heater core is already starting to get some water. It's hot. That's how quick that heater core can warm up. Okay, so the thermostat has not opened yet. The upper hose is still cold, but our heater core is hot, so it's past the first test. There we go, thermostat just opened. Now just shut. We just watched the temperature gauge go down. Just got slugged with a bunch of cold water. Good. Now as the thermostat's shut, you'll see the temperature go down up here, and then once the radiator's up to temperature, there he goes, she opens again, you'll just see this constant dance, but eventually it should be in an open loop. It shouldn't be slugging it cold and hot, cold and hot. It should stay pretty static. We got about 160 degrees up the heater core. It's a 195 thermostat, but you do lose a little bit of heat due to the metal there, so working as it should. We don't smell any burning oil or any old grease burning, so we know we're good there. Temperature is stable. Oh yeah, the hose is nice and hot. Woo! Okay, radiator cap's starting to get warm. Radiator's hot on the inside, good. Reserve tank has come up a little bit, now it is a little bit low. I am going to top it off, and I want to wait for it to get hot so we can fill it to hot. Other than that, the next test will be if the cooling fan kicks on, puts out hot air, and it's pretty much a wrap for this job. The final test to make sure the cooling fan comes on. Now as I rev it, you should see instant heat to the core. Oh yeah, she's nice and hot now. Woo! She's getting toasty like where it should be. Good. Now the radiator cap, until we actually drive the car, isn't going to be the same temperature. I mean, you do have a temperature difference. As the heat comes in here and gets dissipated coming across here, this will be the cold section of the radiator. You've got about 163 degrees on the cold side. And on the hot side, it's hard to get a reading on this side because, well, all the plastic's in the way. Yeah, I can't get in there to get the hot side, so I can only use the back side, what's going in. Got about 170 going in, 134, 140 going out, so 145, 165. Okay, so we know our heater core temperature isn't going to go above 160, 170, just the laws of physics with the heat being taken out through the heater core. So we're actually going to change this to the radiator side, so when the fans kick on we can actually see if it's being cooled. Yeah, when you know you got it right, the cooling fan will take forever to kick on. too hot to touch. We're almost there. Waiting for the cooling fan to finally kick on. Yeah, it's fine. It shows you how efficient this radiator is when it takes forever for the cooling fan to kick on. We're riding at about 200 degrees inside. Nothing like that smell of newness breaking in. Okay, we reached 200 degrees now. Fans on this car kick on at 203. Okay, so we just seen there, the fan just kicked on and off. So we know we're pulling heat out because it was 200. Well, other than that, it's passed all my tests. Let's check the radiator cap temp. Radiator cap is hot. So other than that, done deal. We'll check the leaks. Other than that, it's done. Everything looks good. It's drying up. Other than that, that completes this job. We'll get everything buttoned up and we'll go on a road test. How's that sound? But first we got to get the inner panel back on. Got to get the wheel back on, down on the ground. So we'll do that next. We'll take you for a ride. Stay tuned. Alright, first driving the Olds after the timing chain job. Now we do have the valve covers and tranny fluid lines to do yet, but other than that, we want to make sure we get this done before we dig any deeper. Other than that, it's pretty quiet. Had a guy ask how does it drive after we did the ignition module. I don't know if he thought there was something else wrong, but yeah, what actually got this car in our hands, the ignition module was bad, so it wouldn't start up. But ironically, we did get it to start one time after we bought the car, but then we realized real quick, yeah, we had an electrical issue, which is really kind of odd. It was like almost like the 70s when the ignition modules went out. A lot of you guys, the old timers or people my age, remember the 350 days when the ignition modules would go. They just stopped dead in their tracks, and once it cooled off, it'd start up again. Well, this almost did that. But with solid state, nowadays, I mean, it's either sensor works or it don't. But sometimes you get these intermittent ones, and this one wasn't intermittent. Pretty much it fired off one time, and that was it. Put the ignition module in, haven't had a problem since. But my theory is, with all the fluid this thing used to leak, that it got into the brain box and shorted it out. Alright, temperature stable. Let's see, we've got heat. Let's see, upper is vent. Bi-level.
It's only running 195.
Yeah, that's what thermostat we have in it. Trying to remember how we got the vents working. I know it was a little goofy on this
No, it's
car.
working.
I got nothing out of this one.
Is it open? There's an open thing now.
Oh, gotta be smarter than the olds. Alright, heater's hot. We're good there. You can turn that thing off. Woo. I used to call the Oldsmobile the poor man's Cadillac. They are comfy cars.
Second gear works great.
Want a blue Chevy diesel?
I think maybe. Yeah, but it's only a half ton.
Yeah. Nowadays, if you want a diesel pickup, it's got to be a 3/4 ton. Well, now Chevy's got that new half-ton inline 5 Duramax, but I don't know. A lot of people are not in love with the idea of a timing or a belt running the oil pump that has to be serviced at 150,000 miles. The car's smooth though. One complaint that the 3802 got is that it didn't feel like it had as much power as the Series 1 or even the original 3.8. And what's funny is this actually has more power, but the car got heavier. So the feeling of power is not there. But for good gas mileage, I've heard people say they get almost 30 miles to the gallon on the highway with this.
Second gear crawls really good. This has a longer gear range in it.
Yeah, I think it's got the lower final drive ratio in it. About 205 horsepower, about 230 pounds of torque.
That's about how much my truck has on my new old truck.
Yep. Yeah, it shifts smooth, runs good.
Man, this thing drives like a caddy.
Yeah, steering wheel's even straight. We put new tires on it, so it's been a good car. Unfortunately, the owner that had it before got it to when it had some issues, and we straightened it out. But you know, sometimes with these cars, we gotta have time, patience, and love for it.
So other than that, we got valve covers coming up later episode, and tranny cooler lines coming in because this thing leaks like a sieve. It's one thing that we want to make sure before we sell this car that it doesn't have leaks and it's not going to give the new owner any problems. We don't do that. Unfortunately, after truck shopping, we figured out that a lot of car lots do. They'll sell you a lemon, won't think twice about it, but not here at Keith Kevin's Repair and Restoration. We will not do that. Well, we hope you've enjoyed the series so far. Let us know in the comments what you think. Good, bad, or indifferent. This is kind of what we do. We just straighten cars out and move on to the next one.
I kind of wish I was keeping this now that I'm driving it again. It's nice. It's really nice.
It's going to be nice for someone else, though.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm good. I'm never going back to a car.
Not after you drive truck. Why do you think I drive truck?
Drive truck.
Alright, folks, hope you enjoyed the content. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Leave a like if you like the series. If not, we will see you next time. Thanks for watching.